friends and family. This is SP News Nugget, and today, you guys, we've got the video of the 911 non-emergency phone call. We're going to share that with you, and we got the video of the march that went on last night, and they are supposed to have another march today, and I know for a fact they're supposed to have a march Wednesday. Not only that, you guys, they will be talking to the officer and investigating the officer starting this morning, asking the question why he did not announce who he was. So you guys, we've got a little bit to share with you, so I'm going to start with that 911 call. Here we go.
Police operator M873, what's the address?
I'm calling about my neighbor.
Okay, what's the address?
1203 East Allen Avenue.
Okay, 1203 East Allen Avenue. What's going on there?
Well, the front doors have been open since 10 o'clock, and I haven't seen anybody moving around. It's not normal for them to have both of the doors open this time of night.
Okay, you know if anyone is inside?
No, I'm not sure. Both of the cars are there.
Okay, bear with me. And they're in the driveway?
Both the cars in the driveway, yes.
Okay, can you give me a description, like a color of the vehicles?
Well, one's white and one's dark blue.
The white one is a sedan or a SUV? Or pickup?
They're both sedans.
Okay. And what's your name?
James Smith.
And what's your telephone number?
81.
Okay, 17. Gotcha. And are they usually home at this time?
They're usually home, but they never had both of the front doors open.
Okay.
With the lights on, like I can see straight through the house. Well, my sister woke me up. She stays across the street, and then I live on the opposite side of my sister.
Okay. And the address that you gave me, 1203, that's their address, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We'll have an officer come by. They're already being dispatched now, okay?
Okay, appreciate it. I mean, it's just not normal for them to have both the doors open this late for that long.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Bye-bye.
What the officer observed and why he did not announce police will be addressed as the investigation continues.
Atatiana Jefferson! Atatiana Jefferson!
Outside Jefferson's home Sunday night, hundreds of people chanted her name. Some of her family members arrived back at the house during what was supposed to be a vigil, but quickly turned into a demonstration.
This is not a training issue with the Fort Worth Police Department. This is a cultural issue.
Fort Worth Mayor Betsy Price appeared at the gathering, telling me she has confidence in the police department and interim police chief Ed Krause.
He's devastated about this, and I believe they'll do the right thing. We will hire a third-party investigator to come out.
Her office later clarified that third party will review police department policies related to use of force. Shortly after we talked, her security team had to escort her away from the crowd.
Officer, the family's attorney, Lee Merritt. Atatiana was the glue that held this family together. She was so in love with babysitting, caring for her mother, showing up and counseling her sisters, that when they lost her, they lost balance.
The members of the Fort Worth Police Department share your very real and valid concerns.
This afternoon, Fort Worth Police gave their first on-camera statement, confirming their officer never identified himself as police before he pulled the trigger.
We're working closely on this. It's a tragic situation.
Mayor Betsy Price came to the vigil to listen, but quickly left, surrounded by a frustrated crowd, emotions high after another life lost.
And act like it doesn't apply to you. Because, you know what, anybody could be next. It's not that kind of deal. Anybody could be next.
Anybody could be next. And so I'm standing here to tell you, I'm done.
Now, people have set up a GoFundMe for Atatiana's family, and it's already raised more than $112,000.
Department, I'm so sorry for what occurred. You, Atatiana's family and friends have my apologies, my condolences, and my prayers. We've received many calls from the community expressing their concerns and demands, and I assure you as chief of this department, I share those concerns and I demand a thorough, transparent, and speedy investigation. This will not be an opportunity for us to make excuses, but rather to investigate this case to the fullest, to provide the justice we all seek for Atatiana. My intent was to meet with him today to terminate his employment with the Fort Worth Police Department. However, the officer tendered his resignation this morning before we met. Even though he no longer works for the city, we will continue the administrative investigation as if he did.
On behalf of the entire city of Fort Worth, I'm sorry. To Atatiana's family, it's unacceptable. There is nothing that could justify what happened on Saturday morning. Nothing.
Most of the officers I've encountered over the past couple days are telling me, Chief, this isn't how we operate. They understand the gravity of the situation. They understand how this. Thank you, Mayor. Before I provide an update, I'd first like to extend my sincerest sympathies to the family of Atatiana Jefferson. Her father called this shooting senseless, and I certainly have not been able to make sense of why she had to lose her life. On behalf of the men and women of the Fort Worth Police Department, I'm so sorry for what occurred. You, Atatiana's family and friends have my apologies, my condolences, and my prayers. We've received many calls from the community expressing their concerns and demands, and I assure you as chief of this department, I share those concerns and I demand a thorough, transparent, and speedy investigation. This will not be an opportunity for us to make excuses, but rather to investigate this case to the fullest, to provide the justice we all seek for Atatiana. Our officer-involved shootings are investigated by both our major case unit, which investigates the criminal aspect of the case, and our internal affairs unit, which investigates administrative policy and training violations. These investigations occur concurrently but separately. I will outline where we are with both investigations at this point. The Internal Affairs Unit responded to the scene of the shooting. Their role is to observe the on-scene investigation, but they take a back seat to the criminal investigation being conducted by the Major Case Unit. The officer who shot Atatiana was served his written administrative complaint on Sunday. At that time, he was also placed on detached duty and stripped of his badge and firearm. My intent was to meet with him today to terminate his employment with the Fort Worth Police Department. However, the officer tendered his resignation this morning before we met. Even though he no longer works for the city, we will continue the administrative investigation as if he did. The case will be completed and reviewed by the chain of command. Had the officer not resigned, I would have fired him for violations of several policies, including our use of force policy, our de-escalation policy, and unprofessional conduct. A statement to that effect will be placed within the investigation to serve as a written record of that determination. Additionally, the separation paperwork that is sent to the state licensing agency, the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, will reflect that he was dishonorably discharged from employment with the Fort Worth Police Department.
Hey friends and family, this is SP News Nugget, and today is Monday, and we are going live today at 5 p.m. So you guys come on into the conversation room. We're going to talk about what all this means, and like I said, here we go again. So I'll see you guys at 5 p.m. Central Time.